doubt, man. And man, I appreciate that as always. It's always a real take from you, man. Yeah, look, it's tough with some of these fans. As I was sort of saying, it's just like we discussed this in the chat. And I'm gonna just quickly bring this up. Is if we make it to the playoffs for me, and we obviously if we were to win a first round and get to the second round, that's great, man. That's great. That's what you call building, because well, last year obviously things got worse after they were good. So we took a step back, and now we're trying to take a step back up. People are really, really impatient, and it's funny because it's so much hypocrisy in some of what's getting around on Twitter. And look, I'm not attacking anyone personally. So if anyone sees this and thinks I'm not. It's just a collective of what I see. It's just that there's people out there saying, oh, Knicks fans aren't ready for a rebuild. Go through the draft. They're completely ignoring the fact we just got Jalen Brunson, and we're not going to do that after getting someone like Jalen Brunson. And we've got Julius Randle playing some amazing basketball and so on and so forth, right? They're not going to do that. It's as simple as that.
You bring guys like that in to get a Devin Booker, bro, in the future. That's what you bring guys like that in for.
Yeah. But then they're also impatient themselves, because they're sitting there saying, that's not good enough. It's not good enough if we just go to the second round. What we were saying in the chat the other day, and a few of us agreed, and I don't know if you guys will, you may or may not. But I said, even if we push 7 games in Series 1 and we were competitive and we didn't win that first series, but we pushed 7 games, for me, that's a step up. Especially from our last playoff appearance. And maybe
I gotta interject real quick, bro.
Yeah.
7 games, but it gotta be a nail biter in game 7. You ain't just getting cooked. You made it to game 7. No, boy. Yeah. You better go down to the wire. You'll go down to the wire.
As I said, competitive, man. So I would be, for me, and that's not for everyone, but a few of us agreed in the VSN chat, that would be sufficient for me to say we took a step up, right? And as long as we look competitive, even in game 7, that would be enough for me. Maybe not ideal, but it would be enough and to build on. But, that's just, as I'm saying, for a lot of these people, they're out here saying, ain't no one patient enough. But at the same time, they're not patient enough to go to the playoffs, lose, come back, try the next step. And it's funny because a lot of these guys were big Donovan Mitchell, were parading for Donovan Mitchell. That's all he's done all his career, right? That's all he's done is go back, and it's been purgatory. So I just want to point that out. That's a great point that sort of Trippy brought up, man. There's a lot of people out there saying no one's patient, but they aren't themselves. So that's unfortunately what we're facing.
And if you ask T-Tom, like me, I was completely against training for Donovan Mitchell, because
so was I.
Something like that. Because I mean, you saw what happened when we traded for Melo. We got a few good years, and then after that, we was in the hole for God knows how many years. So this is why I kept saying earlier, this is part of the process. If we make it to the playoffs and we go 7 games against the team, like that's what with a bunch of kids under 24. We got like what 6 or 7 players under 24 years old. Our oldest player. I mean, like that's to me, that's an improvement.
No doubt, and that's sort of what I'm alluding to, man. So, man, as I said, I didn't like the Donovan Mitchell thing either. So,
me neither.
I didn't like it at all.
Better than the Knicks, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, and look, man, I'm gonna digress now, and I'm gonna go to Ariel with that first question, so we can move on to the next part. So, Ariel, man, rapid fire. What's your assessment so far? Favorite moment, game, or least favorite moment, game? That you'd like to see us, maybe eradicate from our game. So talk to us, man. Give us something.
I don't have a lot of love. I have a few games that I just want to forget about. Primarily that Dallas game that stuck out to me a lot.
Facts.
That one.
Oh man, yes.
I got PTSD. I'm still scoring. I'm just all over the place, because when I think about that game, it's like that's something that you just don't ever see. And for us to be on that side was just embarrassing. But at the same time,
I didn't go to sleep that night, bro.
Me too. I slept like probably 5 hours tops that day. I went to work tired, mad. I woke up like if I played for them. That's how my feelings was that hurt after that game.
I was in a late night space with people going ham. I'm talking about.
I heard somebody was crying on the space. Like literally sounded like they was crying.
Oh no!
Hey, man, I think from memory, I missed that game. Like it was a stupid time over here for me or something. If I'm not, was it a matinee game or like a midday game or something? If I'm not, I don't know.
Was it 8 o'clock?
I don't know, but for some reason,
it was like 8.
Okay, I don't know why, but for some reason I missed it.
It was like I think 9.
For some reason
like
I missed
8:30, I think.
I missed it, but I'm glad I missed it because that was one of those ones even where I would normally put on the replay, win or lose, just to look at it because that's who I like to break down the game, see where we went wrong. But all of what I saw on Twitter and heard, and I definitely heard about someone crying or close to it on faces. I was like, I'm not even touching this.
That, man.
I'm not even touching this game.
I did not know that.
So, go ahead, Ariel, man.
That.
Take.
Nah, that was the worst in a couple of other games that we blew late down the stretch.
Yep.
But overall, my assessment of the team is they're exceeding expectations, and I'm gonna tell you why. You look at the beginning of the season; they started off hot, right? Then they cooled off a little bit. You win 4, lose 4, and the same goals. Like we could never develop a consistency, right? But then you see this stretch right here. Like nobody can say like, listen, you're gonna take lumps and bruises with younger teams, right? Because we are a very young team. So that's what comes with it. We screen play the kids last year. I was one of them, right? Now you see more of the kids on the court. What happens with kids on the court? They fuck up sometimes. They fumble. Fourth quarter. They don't have that type of game time experience. These are the bumps and bruises that you're gonna see with a team like the Knicks. And I'm okay with that. We have paper bags over our heads for years. We got 3 guys averaging 20 points a game. We got a point guard in an upward trajectory on a reasonable contract. Julius Randle, his numbers and what he's getting paid, if you compare him to other contracts, there's some bad contracts out there. Absolutely. Let me tell you. Absolutely. I could start with Michael Porter Jr. That's number 1. You know, nobody sees these things. Like, yo, like you underappreciated them. Like, you got to appreciate these guys. Yes, he may not be a number 1 on a championship team, but there is absolutely nothing wrong with, let's get it clear, on a championship team, there's nothing wrong with a number 2 and a number 3. You want to know why? When number 1 is cold, guess what? You got 2 other guys that can step up.
Facts.
They balance each other out. So I don't see the psychological sense in that. So yes, it's a step in the progress. Everybody said Vegas had us at what, 42, 44 wins tops? We're already up there. We're already at 27. So imagine like we can end up winning. We can end up getting a 50 burger. You know, if the season goes well enough. That's a success, bro. Like this is a step in the right direction. We got draft picks. We got plenty of young talent. But one thing I want to see moving forward, that biggest win for me was that Celtic game, because you can see the whole team. Even though that fourth quarter they went too much ISO heavy, I wasn't a fan of that. Yeah. And I said, move the ball, man. You clearly could get there. You see what happened on the possession when they hit RJ in the corner. That was a that was a match for me. Watching them move that ball between Randall, because they took advantage because the Celtics didn't really get back. So that was smart on them to get that ball in that corner. RJ, that's why he was wide open, because you had your man come in from the corner, so that exposed RJ. Brunson saw that and gave it right to him. It was a masterclass. But one thing I want to see with this team moving forward, and I hope Tibbs experiments with this a little more, because I've seen little bits and pieces of it. I want to see Emmanuel Quigley and Jalen Brunson playing together more. Even if you don't want to incorporate them in the starting lineup, even if you got to keep them in bigger spurts. But if you notice that with them 2 guys in the court, y'all see how the ball moves? It doesn't stick. Yeah, I don't know if it's just me or because I see a lot of the game in a lot of different ways, and I watch everything. So it's like that ball movement is so much better with Quigley and Brunson on the court together.
Blame them, bro. But can you blame him? Like, look at it. Every time Quentin Grimes has had the ball, he's either traveled, he's either what else is it? He's either traveled, he's either carried, or his famous thing, he's too fast for himself. Yeah, he'll dribble and bounce it off.
Doesn't have his speed. Yeah.
So it's
slow down.
Trust him quick. Yeah, it's like if I'm Jalen Brunson, do I trust him with the ball now? Quickly, you've been doing this already. Yeah, bro. Like I know you do it. I know you know what you're doing.
We gotta appreciate like the essential of Mac. Like there's a lot of people in this fan base that wanted to trade him, and I'll never forget that. Them guys act like, and they're the main ones now jumping for joy. And I'm like, dude, like you never once admitted, yo, hey, I was wrong about that completely. I think be a handful of them I know that did it, but like y'all can't own up to it, man. Like people were disrespecting him, but like that, like they wanted to trade him for Shake Milton. I even see like. You know, stuff that I've seen on Twitter is crazy.
man.
So like overall, man, like I'm loving what this team's direction. There's nothing wrong with what the Knicks are doing right now. I think honestly, at the deadline, I already had my guys up there. I said we need a shooter off the bench because if Quickly can't do everything, and Obi,
man, save all that though. We're going to get to that. Save all that because we are going to get to that. But I do appreciate the take on where we're at now. But we will get to some of that stuff of what we need, man. We'll get there. Right. Ebony, did you have something you wanted to add before I jump onto the next question?
Well, I forgot that now. But yeah, I think it was about he said about IQ and Grimes. I think Grimes, yeah, like he said, that the game has to slow down for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sorry, I'm here. I'm sorry. Yeah. The game has to slow for him. Like he's still everything fast paced. Like when the game, like your third, fourth year, the game starts slowing down for you. You're able to see things before it happens or whatever the case may be. And I don't think it happens there yet. He's just going straight off of instinct and then making the play that he thinks is right. And half the times it is not. But it'll come with experience, I think. And with the only thing with Brunson I wanted to say, I don't like when sometimes he gives the hardened assist. I'm always going to call it the hardened assist. The last minute, here you go, I'm in trouble, bail me out. And I don't like that. That's not the flow of the offense. And then the people that miss the shot, they get blamed for it. When their feet not set, they ain't expecting it. You trying to get bailed out. So that's it. That's all I had to say about Brunson. Other than that, he reminds me of my favorite all-time player, AI. Just the dog and the constant attack.
No doubt, man.
I feel you, Ebony. But one thing I want to say to the Brunson thing, that was a fair assessment of him too. By the way, I like how you broke that down. The only thing I would say with just people in general and Knicks fans in general is that we kind of don't appreciate. I've seen some people saying some really nasty things about Brunson, about it. I'm like, dude, he easily won us 10 games this year. So relax.
Yeah. People have turned on him a bit.
Criticism and not beat your players up. You can say something is wrong without being super duper negative about it.
Can I say something though? Can I say something though? That's typical Knicks fan shit right there. We seen it with Patrick Ewing. We seen it with Carmelo, and they used to kill Carmelo Anthony.
I know. I know Knicks fans still do.
That's why I think Julius Randle and Carmelo Anthony are going through similar situations. I just think that right now, at least Julius Randle, he has a better team around him. You know what I mean? I don't think Melo ever had that. I could be mistaken, but to me, I don't think he ever had that.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment. I mean, you could argue maybe that team with Stat and that was pretty close, or maybe better in some aspects. But there is takeaways and gives that you would feel to make that assessment fairly, and you would actually have to sit down and probably do it side by side. If I'm looking back retrospectively, I can't just do it off the top of my dome. So that is a fair assessment, Kev. But I am going to come back to. I'm going to go in reverse here, and I'm going to go to our next part. So T-Time, I'm coming to you first with this, man. We're going to hit the present now, and I'm going to make this one short. It was a little bit longer, but obviously we went a bit, on our last takes, and that's cool. But I think I can shorten this one down. So obviously, right now, what are we? 3 games above 500, still without Mitchell Robinson. People thought it was going to be all really bad without Mitchell Robinson, and it hasn't been that bad, right? I think we're 2-2 with so far without him. If I'm not mistaken, something like that. Anyway, so we clearly need some length. We know that there's obviously a lot of circulation around the Cam thing, but we'll come back to that in the next bit. But look, without considering playing Reddish, do we start to consider trying IQ as a starter and sliding Grimes to the bench? I know that makes us shorter, but IQ actually has a longer wingspan than Grimes, so I'm told, and so I'm led to believe. And also, I feel like at this point, because he's spent more time in the league and with his progression, he's a little bit better of a defender and a bit better of a decision maker. He's scoring now as well. He looks more confident. Obviously, maybe Grimes is a little bit nicer of a shooter, but man, Quickly has always been a shooter. His shot has come back. And he just looks great, man. And he attacks and he has a bit more of a floater game. Obviously, Grimes likes to attack the rim, but as we said, maybe he's a little bit too fast for his touch. How do you think we consider, trying to make up for that length, in the wing position without playing Reddish? Would it be a starting IQ or what? Talk to us, man.
So here's my problem with starting IQ. You start IQ, then your bench got no scoring whatsoever.
Yeah,
there's no points coming off the bench whatsoever. As much as I like Quentin Grimes, he's not going to be that scoring punch you need coming off the bench. All our points literally is coming from IQ off the bench, so that's a big issue for me. Without playing Cam Reddish, the way this team is right now, there's really no answer because, he is the answer essentially, right? Like if you're talking about, adding some length to the starting lineup, but if you take him out the equation, there is no answer. I know this might be a little bit off topic, but one thing that we need to stop doing is playing Miles McBride. That would help a lot. But yeah, we between a rock and a hard place in trying to move IQ to the starting lineup, to me is impossible because you're not going to score off the bench at all if he goes to the starting lineup. So I like Grimes with the starting five. I just think he needs to slow himself down. He's just moving too fast for his own good. He's rushing shots. He's attacking the closeouts way too early. If he just slow down a little bit, that'll help his game and we'll be fine. And we just got to hold serve until Mitch come back. And I think Jericho Sims is doing a great job for what it's worth. He's doing a great job. And I don't see why I Hartenstein gets PT over him. That's a whole nother topic. You feel me?
Put some respect on Hartenstein's name, man. He blocked Donovan Mitchell, man. Everybody was crying about it.
Yeah, listen. I got no smoke for Hartenstein, but I still don't think he needs to be playing over. Look. I don't think he needs to be playing over Sims. I think Sims is just a better fit for the team, but I digress.
Don't worry, for whatever smoke you don't got for Hartenstein, I got it, and I got it for you, Ariel, man. He does well, but you know that I am, it's a case of, and I don't mean this in a wrong way or whatever, but Hartenstein, man, please, you are not for this team, brother. You've done some little great things, but you've mostly robbed us. You've scammed us, man. We've been scammed. Like, it's just not right.
I'm disappointed too, bro. You know that I've been vocal about it, and I agree with you on that. Like, it's just that from what I've seen in the whole season, the first case showed a little flash in the beginning, but ultimately, I want to see less of him and more Obi, man. I'm being honest.
No doubt. All right. Look, I'm gonna go to Kev, and then I'm gonna go to Eb after this. So same question, Kev, man. 3 games above 500, still without Mitchell Robinson. Obviously, we need some length. I'm going to ask the same question, without considering playing Cam, because it's just not going to happen. Do you have an answer for how we would cover that, or do something to, I guess, if it's not cover it, it's make up for it in another way? And again, I'm going to pose the same question to you. Would it be something like starting IQ? Ariel just reminded me of something by saying a name that we haven't really spoken about. Would it be giving Obi Toppin more minutes and playing him as maybe as like a in between a 3 and a 4? I know that might be wild to some people, but there's some length there at least. Give us your thoughts, man. How do you think we sort of cover that? Because we have, and why I asked this question, sorry, I didn't get to say this before, but why I asked this is because we've seemed to have covered Mitch enough. Maybe not totally, but as T-Time said, Sims has done a great job. Hartenstein, well, he's gone out there. He hasn't done anything, but he's gone out there. Look, man, Kev, tell us your thoughts, man.
Me personally, I'm a Grimes guy. So I like to see Grimes start at the 2, and just leave quick at the coming off the bench. But it just gives Grimes experience. I know he struggles. I know he struggles here and there, but I think that's more of a coaching problem because he puts him in certain situations. Like the other night, for instance, when Tibbs had him guarding Jason Tatum, I'm like, that's ridiculous. It's like you got a guy that's 6'3", 6'4", guarding a guy that's like 6'8", 6'9". It doesn't make sense. But other than that, I think that I like Grimes at the 2. I want to see him keep working. But like what T-Tom said, I think that he just needs to settle down a bit, man. Slow down, let the game come to you. Don't rush, and stay on your grind. When it comes to Obi, I would like to see him get more minutes, and definitely just to take some pressure off of Randall. Because playing Randall 38 to 40 minutes a game, I think after a while that's gonna take a toll on his body, on his leg. So I would definitely like to see Obi get like at least 18 to 20 minutes a game, and I think that lately in his past few games he's been playing well, but I think that if he ups his minutes up a bit, he'll play better. So that's my take.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Great take, man. Ebony, I'm going to fire it straight to you. Give it to us rapid fire. Same thing. How would you cover or make up for the lack of length? Without obviously entertaining the idea of playing Cam, because it's not going to happen, does it? Is it an Obi thing?
And it's crazy, not going to happen. But anyway, we'll get over that.
Crazy.
We'll get over that.
I still have faith, believe it or not. I still have faith.
I think you have Spurs, Detroit Pistons, Golden State Warrior type of mindset, where it's just a team and do it as a committee. I think that's our best route in everything, defense and offense. I think the Nets showed us what we should be doing when we played them. I think they showed us how simple it was. If you get your others involved, it makes it easier for your stars. So you got to, I appreciate them playing Obi more minutes over iHeart, because he was a traffic cone and he wasn't giving any offense at all. Like the last 2 games, though, he's shown a little something. But is it enough? We'll see. But I would rather them play small ball and get Obi involved in the pick and rolls more, so he could roll to the basket, do what he do, constant movement. They need constant movement, and we don't have that. And I don't think you can sustain ISO ball all game. That's impossible. That's too predictable. It's way too predictable. And expect your shooters to be ready at any given moment at the end of the game when they haven't been active throughout the game. That's kind of a beef I have. I was a shooter, so I know how that feels. Yeah. I played with ball dominant. I play with ball dominant people who give you the ball at the last minute, and you just got to be ready, or you get it in the flow of the offense. So I just think Tibbs got to get you're an NBA coach, and your offense is high schoolers. So we got to get that together, because we're not playing to our players' strengths, and we're wasting them away. If you're not gonna play to your players' strength, what are you doing with them? So that's all.
That was all facts right there.
Yeah, that was great. And
why I say like her takes are incredible.
Absolutely, man. That was fire, Ebony. And look, you're preaching to the choir. I'm a white boy, so I'm a shooter. We don't got no bag, man. Just the Kyle Korver thing, come up, spot up, heat check, walk off. We're always humble too, I wasn't that good, my guy. People are giving us, and we're always really humble. We don't really flex too much. So you know how it is, the real white boy vibes. So I know it. But look, appreciate that was a fire take. But